Hey, this is Jen. We are on for our weekend wild card. We haven't done this in a while, so I thought we'd actually do some yoga, but kind of more taking advantage of it being warm outside. Our bodies are a little bit more willing to move and all those wonderful things, and doing some more like hamstring and splits related type of things. And as you know, I keep things slightly unconventional, so we might even do some non-actual yoga-y things, but all in the effort to get our splits a little bit more, deeper, maybe a little bit more comfortable and all those wonderful things. Hey, Molly. I biked up to Uptown today, and it was so nice. It wasn't too sunny, so it was kind of nice. For me, it's about like 10 miles or so. So it was a really nice little bike ride. But of course, gotta stay hydrated. So all those wonderful things that you've been hearing me repeat day after day. Hey, Emma. So we're doing some more splits-like stuff. So not necessarily 100% faithful to yoga, but definitely an effort to just continue to stretch out our hamstrings. It wasn't last week, but maybe the week before, was it, when we did a sculpt that Thursday class? My hamstrings, oh my gosh. I usually don't necessarily feel that way, but they were like really engaged for the rest of the weekend and very tight. So in addition to just my own stretching, I definitely used the help of that little shoulder massager thing too. So those are all wonderful things. And yes, Molly, whenever you're ready to go, let me know. I'm definitely on like a schedule that I hit the gyms as often as I can. And it really feels like it brings me life. So just let me know. All right, so we'll go ahead and start kneeling position today. And I know some of you, when you hear yoga, it sounds like something that's very slow and boring, but bear with me. Again, this is just an effort to get our hamstrings elongated and take all of that like sort of contraction and all that work that we do during the week and start to lengthen and stretch out are very tired and deserving muscles. So just starting a kneeling position here, and we'll swing our hips over to our left just a little bit and send, without touching the floor, your right leg just forward in front of you, right? And then flex your foot, your heel stays firmly rooted into the floor. And then just already, since you're sitting onto your heel, you should have some elevation, your butt up off of the floor. All right, from there, you can bring your hands down. I just wanted to do that little balance bit. And start to walk yourself forward, right? Open up through your chest, draw your shoulders back, and find just a gentle hinge. We're just warming up here, so it might not be very aggressive. Just find that length, extend out through the crown of your head, and we'll hang out right here. From this place, maintain your hinge, your long neck, your long spine, and then flatten your right foot down to a point position and then flex again, right? Maintain that hinge the entire time, and we go point. This feels a little bit nicer, and then you flex. Stick your tailbone out, and then you go point again and flex. Back again last time, and we point and we flex again. Good. From this place, start to walk your arms a little bit more forward. Take 2 breaths with me. Lengthen out of your waist, and then gently hinge, bend your arms, elbows. And then one more time, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, gently bend your arms, elbows. Transfer your body weight forward, flatten out through your right foot, and then just find a low lunge. So tuck your back toes in. You're in this low lunge position. Hang out right here. Good. And then from this place, go push, straighten out through your right leg. Really stick your tail out. And then bend, go low, right? So low lunge to long pyramid. Push, go straight, go push. Really stick your tail out to feel something, and then bend, go low, open up through your chest. And then push, go straight, go push. Really flex your right foot back toward your face, and bend, go low. And last time, push, go straight, and we'll hold this one. And just in case you didn't hear, we're working on splits a little bit today, so just swing your hips out to the right, to the left. And instead of thinking about like doing a whole bunch of right to lefts, think about every single time as you pass through center, you stick your tail out a little bit farther, right? Stick it up a little bit higher. Lengthen out through your spine. Good. And then find a pause here, flatten your foot, and flex your foot, stick your tail out. Good, flatten your foot, go flex your foot, lengthen out through your spine. Good, flatten your foot, and go flex your foot. Last time, flatten your foot, and flex your foot. Good. From here, let's see if we can stay right in this place. Lower your back knee down to the floor. See if you can just transition into your kneeling half split. And then flatten out your palms, or if you need to get there in some other fashion, totally do that. And then reflex your foot back toward your face. Draw your right hip back, push your left hip forward. And we'll keep our left hand down, twist. Lift up through your right arm, open up through your chest. Just 2 breaths here. Inhale, go lengthen. Exhale, just twist. Last time, inhale, lengthen out through your crown, your tail. And exhale, you twist. Good. Gently lower your right hand down inside of your right leg. Swing your right leg around. Find yourself back in the kneeling position where we started, right? So you're back into that kneeling position, hands up off of the floor as we transition. Shift your hips over to your right hand side and see if you can, without touching the floor, just send your left leg forward and then square yourself off and then touch your hands to the floor. Lift. Good. From this place, give yourself a gentle hinge. Taking care, again, we're just starting on this left side, so it might feel a little fresh and not willing, but we'll give it just some encouragement as you tilt your tail back and lengthen, extend out through the crown of your head. Good. And then from here, just flatten your foot, so it's almost like a pointed position, and then flex your foot, go flex, yes. Open your chest, and then flatten your foot, go flatten. And flex, go flex. Really think of sticking your tail out. Flatten, go flatten. It's sort of visually more difficult to see, but you want to feel it. Flex your foot. One more time, go flatten your foot. And go flex your foot. Perfect. Walk your hands a little bit more forward and see if you can hinge just a little bit deeper. Take 2 breaths with me. Inhale, lengthen out through your crown. Exhale, hinge a little bit deeper. One more time. Inhale, lengthen out through your crown. And exhale, hinge just a little bit deeper. Good. From this place, flatten out through your foot and then shift your body weight forward. Tuck your back toes in, move into a low lunge. Find your place here. Hold. Good. Allow your hips to melt. And then push, go straight. Flex your left foot back toward your face. Really try to press your right heel down toward the floor. And then bend, go low, go bend. Open up through your chest. That's it. And then push, go straight, go straighten. And bend, go low, go bend. Yes, lengthen out through your right hip flexor. And then push, go straight, go push. Bend, go low, go bend. And your last time, push, go straight. We'll hold this one. And again, you're just going out to the right, left. Each time as you pass through center, very deliberately stick your tail out. It's easy to tuck your tail and then it'll feel really comfortable, but you want to stick your tail out and flex your foot back just a little bit more. Good, just a couple breaths here. See if you can lengthen out through your crown, your tail just a little bit more. And then find a pause, hold. Good, flatten your foot and flex your left foot. Go flatten your foot and flex your foot. Really drop your right heel down. Good stretch for your calf. Flatten your foot and go flex your foot. Last time, go flatten your foot and flex your foot. See from here, if you can just simply bend your right leg down so your knee hits the floor, not hits, gently touches, and untuck your toes. Good, let's take 2 breaths. Lengthen out through your front leg a little bit more. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, hinge a little bit deeper. One more time. Inhale, lengthen, and get to the place where you really feel that hamstring stretch. So right hip forward, left hip back. Yes, feel it. Good. From here, right hand stays down. Lift up through your left arm and give yourself a really nice twist. Open up through your chest. And it's noticeable when you can see me from my backside. On your inhale, if you can lengthen out a little bit more. Yeah. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. One more time, flex your foot back. Inhale, lengthen out through your crown of your tail. Exhale, twist just a little bit deeper. Good. And then lower your left hand down to the floor. Almost lost my balance. And swing your left leg. You're back into that kneeling position here. Find your place. And again, we'll keep our hands up off of the floor for our next bit. Tuck your toes in. And from here, send your knees up off of the floor, lean back a little bit, bring your hands, too far, into the center of your chest. Find your balance, hold. And I'm sure you did that perfectly, but do it again for me. Lower your knees back down to the floor, very gentle, and then lean back so you can just lift your knees up off of the floor without tilting back too much. Oh, that was much better for me. Hold right there, breathe. And then we'll do the same thing, lower your heels down to the floor, best you can. And then return to that kneeling position. Yes, good. And do that one more time. So lower your heels down, so you can keep your hips down best you can. And return to your original position. Nice job. All right, from this place, squeeze your legs, your knees together, spine upright, start to stand. Up, go for 4, squeeze your legs. Up for 3, you're about halfway. Up for 2, good. Up for 1, lift your heels and lower them down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, take it all the way down. Nice. You can keep a soft bend in your legs if that makes more sense. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, walk yourself out into your high plank. Hold. We'll just do one of these. Shift your body weight forward. Bend your arms, elbows down. Hold. Inhale, upward facing dog. Drop your hips, open your chest. Squeeze a little your blades. And downward facing dog. Tuck your toes in, send your hips back and up. Pedal out through your heels. Good. We sort of started a little bit with our sculpt on Thursday, just with the separating of our heels. So let's try it here. On your inhale, send your right leg up high toward the ceiling. Keep yourself square. Toes face the floor. And then once you've reached your maximum, kick your heel up a little bit higher. And again, square out your hips best you can. Flex your foot. That left heel, your bottom heel, lift it up off of the floor. Go lift your heel up. And lower back down. Do it again. Lift your heel up as high as possible and lower your heel down. Continue to send your right heel up high. Twice more, left heel up. And lower your left heel down. Separate your heels. One more time. Heel goes up, go lift. And lower your heel, go down. And deliberately turn your right toes out to the right. So your top leg, your toes face out toward the right hand side. Keep your left heel pressing down firm toward the floor. And then kick your right leg out toward the right, karate. Kick it out. And take it back. And scoot over so you can see. And then go kick it out to the right. Yes. And take it back. Twice more. Really lower your heel down, send your chest back toward your thigh. Kick your right heel out. And send it up. Last time. Kick your right heel out. Good. And send it back up. Square off your hips. Square. Good. Good, and then let's do some pulses here. I said it's not gonna be super faithful to yoga specifically. So little pulses, flex your foot, go heel up, 8, go 7, try square off your hips, 6, I'm telling myself, go 5, lower your left heel down, go 4, yeah, go 3, twice more, 2, and 1. I know your leg is a little tired. Keep your leg up there. Walk your hands to your left foot and kick your right leg up a little bit higher. Bend your right leg. Take your left hand, reach for your right foot. If it's far, you drop your right knee down. Grab your foot and then send your right knee up high toward the ceiling. Kick. Separate your knees. That's the way. Open up through your chest, stay long through your spine. Good hamstring stretch for your left leg. Kick right here for 4, knee up toward the ceiling for 3, for 2, for 1. As you let go of your foot, lower your left hand down to the left of your left foot and send your right arm up for half moon. Okay. So for this half moon, flex your right foot. You know half moon, open up through your chest, open up through your shoulders. If the floor is really far away, I want you to just stack a book or stack something so you can feel like you're a little bit more elevated. And then usually I say this float leg, you want at least hip height. I do, but this one I want a little bit higher than that. Flex your foot, side of your foot faces the ceiling. Let's do 8 pulses up. Go 8, higher, yes. Go 7, open your chest, find your balance. 6, yes. 5, oh, I totally lost my balance. And go 4, that's the way. 3, twice more. 2, and 1. Bend your right leg, reach for your right foot. Again, if this foot is far to grab, bring your right knee into your chest to grab. And then send your right knee up toward the ceiling. Hip forward, knee back, open up your chest, your shoulder, and maybe you look past your right shoulder, your right fingers. Kick. That's your added challenge if your balance feels pretty solid. And then gently let go, return back to the half moon. Return your hands back down square, standing split. Walk your hands back into the 3-legged dog. Lift your right leg up high one more time and lower your right foot down. Downward facing dog. Breathe. Good. All right, this is all an effort to really elongate our hamstrings. So you're doing great. It's not super easy, but we're doing it. So take a rest, take a breath. Weight back into your legs, and let's do the other leg. Let me just make sure you guys can see. Send your left leg up high toward this ceiling. Go lift. And we just have in the very beginning these heel raises, so your bottom heel, right? So lift your right heel up as high as possible. Lower your right heel down. Really send your left heel up a little bit higher. Right heel goes up. Right heel goes down. Separate your heels. Right heel goes up. Right heel lowers down. Again, lift, go up. And lower back down. Keep your hips square and then really send your heel up high. My left leg, I noticed, is bending on me. Really straighten out best you can. And we'll do 8 of these pulses square. Go 8, go 7, 6, separate your heels. 5, square off your shoulders, your chest. 4, go 3, go 2, and 1. And then open up your toes face out toward the left. So from here, let's kick out to our left-hand side. Yes, and return. All the way up higher. And kick out to our left-hand side. And return. Good, kick out to our left-hand side. Really kick, flex your foot. And return. And kick out to our left-hand side. and return. Couple more. Go kick out and return. Kick out and return. 2 more times. Go out and return. Last time, open your chest and kick out and return. Square off your hips, separate your heels again. Walk your hands back toward your foot, standing split. Send your leg up even higher toward the ceiling. From here, bend your left leg and then lower your foot down enough so you can grab it with your right hand. From here, gently start to lift your foot up, your knee up. Kick, kick, kick. Separate your knees. Feel that nice deep stretch for your right hamstring. Kick one more time. And gently let go. Your right hand lands to the right and top of your right foot. And then gently move into the half moon. Open your chest. Open, stack your shoulders. Your left leg at least hip height, but I want to go a little bit higher than this. So flex your foot, side of your foot faces the ceiling. Let's go for 8. Yes, go for 7. Yes, go for 6. Nice, go for 5. 4 more times, go 4. Fight for your balance. 3. Twice more, 2. And 1. Bend your left leg. And again, your knee can come forward for you to grab your foot. Gently kick your heel away. Hip forward, knee back. Let your shoulder get pulled back. And if your balance feels okay right now, maybe you look up past your left shoulder, past your left toes. Kick, kick, kick. Nice. Gently let go. Return to the half moon. Seamless transition. Take your time. Square off. Left hand down. Left heel up. And then walk yourself back out into the 3-legged dog. Have you had enough yet? Lift and lower your foot down. It occurs to me that we might have done that 8 times of the side kick. So just for good measure, find again yourself in the downward facing dog. Send your right leg up high and then kick your right leg out to the side and bring it back. 3 more times, go. Kick it out to the side and bring it back. Kick it out to the side and bring it back. Last time, kick it out to the side and bring it back. Lower your right foot back down. Downward facing dog. Breathe. All right. From here, step our left foot forward. You find your low lunge. Hold. Good. Drop your hips down. Open up through your chest. And then from here, we'll keep this left foot at our base. It's not going to be super yoga-y, but keep your left foot at your base, transfer your body weight over, and then send your right foot out to the right. So you're now in this lungy high ninja position, right? So your right foot is flat, you're in this place. Open your chest, lift your hands up off of the floor, hold. Good, and then from here, we'll drop down a little bit lower. Yes. Keep the side of your foot flat. If this doesn't work, toes face up toward the ceiling. And then lift yourself back up. So strong left hamstring here. And then bend to go low. Yes. And take yourself back up to high ninja. Twice more. Go bend. And lift yourself up. Last time. And go bend. And lift yourself up. Keep your weight into your left leg. You transfer there. Send it back into your low lunge. Breathe. Nice. From here, shift your body weight forward into your left foot again. Move into your standing split hold. All right. in your standing split, separate your heels, do all those wonderful things. And then we come up onto our left toes. Ready? I'm gonna move my hand out of the way so you can see. Here we go. Go lift your left heel up and lower down. Lift your left heel up, lower back down. Best you can, you square off your hips, right hip down. Again, go lift your left heel up and lower your heel down. Really plaster your upper body over your lower body. Lift your left heel up and lower it back down. We just have 4 more. Really send your heel up there. And go lift and lower it down. And lift, go lift, send your heel up and lower down. Twice more, heel goes up and lower down, heel up higher. Last time, go lift and lower down. Good, take this right foot as gracefully as possible. Send it back behind. Keep your left leg as straight as possible. I'm gonna scoot over here and send it back. Back behind, you might move into a sort of a pyramid-like shape to start. And then from here, pick your back heel up off of the floor. Start to walk your feet out away from each other. Continue to open up through your chest. Continue to lengthen out through your spine. Maybe you prop yourself up like so. I want your both legs to be fairly even. So if your front leg is completely straight, which it tends to be, I want your back leg to be completely straight as well. Drop your right hip down and continue to separate and separate and separate. Stay wherever you are. Think of your back, your right thigh, the top of your thigh facing the floor. So rather than opening up like this, where we can hang out all day, I want you to take the top of your right thigh, right, your kneecap side, and face that down toward the floor so you're super square. Take an inhale, open your chest, lift yourself up tall, flex your left foot back toward your face. We'll hang out here, 2 more breaths. Lift your chest up. Remember, you might not be completely flat against the floor. Totally use your arms for help. Stay. Last breath here. Inhale, lengthen up super tall. And exhale, stay. Good, and then start to walk your hands down and forward, right? Earlier we did in our warm-up, our half split forward fold. Now we do a full split forward fold. And for me, in some ways, this feels a little bit more accessible than when I'm upright, because now I don't have to worry about my right hip flexor. And just notice here, if you can kind of push this right hip down more toward the floor, you are likely to have more square hips as well. Let's do 1 more breath. Open up through your chest, really flatten out your belly over your thigh, and exhale, fold just a little bit deeper. Good. And let's gently, gently take ourselves up out of this one. Lean your hips over to your left. Yes. Yeah, Emma. So Emma was asking, do you have a variation here? Because her hands do not touch the floor. So a couple of things. If your legs are like here, are you high up off the floor, Emma? You can either, if you're high up off the floor, kind of lean a little bit more forward, right? So I'm definitely hinged, right? And as you start coming back, oh, I see what you're saying. So coming back, you're like, I cannot upright my spine because of this. I would take, if you have some water bottle, now I'm upright. Right, so ideally you'd have 2 so you're not like sort of wobbling about, but I think this Nalgene is pretty, let's say like, I don't know, it's 12 inches or so. I think that's kind of helpful. And even if you just have 1, push yourself up, upright your spine. And this one you'll really feel the right hip flexor. And then if you don't have that water bottle available, I think just lowering your back knee down and then see how far you can go from there. just for a couple of breaths? That's a great question, because definitely staying upright is difficult to do, especially if you're farther up off of the floor. So really nice question, and let me know if that works for you. Okay, so let's switch out to the other side. So we'll move back into the downward facing dog. We'll just do one quick thing here. We just did our left hamstring specific. So once your butt is on the floor, which I'm guessing we're all there, bend your right leg, and we'll do one quick spine twist. So your right leg is bent on the floor, left foot heel goes over your right knee. And then just check your left butt cheek is on the floor. And we'll set up for like a spine twist, right? Super, nothing crazy fancy. The thing about this spine twist, you just want to make sure this left knee faces up toward the ceiling, right? It tends to want to just collapse down, right? That's the only thing. And your butt cheek's on the floor. So left hand behind you, reach your right arm up, and then take your right armpit outside of your left thigh. You've heard me say this before. Lift up tall through your chest, and then twist from there. Look past your left shoulder. And this is another instance where you want to use your left hand like a kickstand. So keep it really close with the base of your spine. Lift and then twist. One more breath. Lift and go twist. Good. Gently undo. We'll keep our right leg exactly where it is. I'm going to show you from this side. And then pick up your left leg. We've done some work for this left hamstring already. So bend your left leg and interlace your fingers around your left foot. And then what I notice is that like my left butt cheek doesn't want to stay on the floor. So if that's also the case for you, just drop it down. And then bend your left leg as much as you need to. But the idea is to start to straighten it out, right? So lift up tall through your chest just like you did in spine twist. And start to extend out through your heel best you can. Right, energy of your heel going out, and then beyond that, really start to pull. If your left leg is straight, you start to pull your leg in. And this is like, it's easy to start to pull and have your left leg bend on you, right? And mine does that all the time. And what I need to work on then is really allowing myself to feel it. So even if it means a much smaller bend of my arms, I want to really, really concentrate on straightening out my left leg best I can. So flex your foot, bring your toes to your nose this time. Really lift through your chest, bend your arms, elbows as much as your leg allows you to. Drop your shoulders. Good, one more breath only. And then keep your leg up there. We'll take our right hand to the outside of your foot, right? So from the front to the out. And then send your left arm back behind you. Lift through your chest and twist. Bend your right arm as much as you can to really allow this left leg to lift up high. Lift up taller one more time. Stay for your exhale, twist a little bit deeper. And let's gently undo, lower this foot down. And we'll move into the downward facing dog. If you can do this without using your hands, I want you to just hinge forward, sit yourself up, and then once you know you've established your balance, move on to the downward facing dog. All right, breathe. So you find your downward facing dog, nice and easy, breathe. Okay, from this place, what do? Let's bring our feet forward to the front. Take an inhale, halfway lift, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Let's hang out right here just for a little bit before we move on to the other side. Bend your legs a little bit, right, left, just to shake it loose. And I actually do feel like my left side hamstring feels pretty loose and juicy right now, which is always a really good feeling. Good. Okay, let's find ourselves back in the downward facing dog then. Step back, do whatever you need to do, and breathe. And we'll just take this, we actually just brought this left foot forward earlier, so we'll just bring this right foot forward in between your hands. Hold. So you're in a low lunge. And again, that's that not really yoga-like thing. You scoot back a little bit. Transfer your body weight into your right foot, so your front foot. Pick this left leg up off of the floor and send it out to your left. And of course, my mitts are moving around. All right, so find your place here. You're in high ninja. All right, your hands can be on the floor to start, then you find your place, and then move into low ninja, low. If your foot was on the floor in the first side, you maintain here. This foot feels like it's really unwilling. And then lift yourself back up. Good, 3 more times. And then go bend, so the side of your foot touches down toward the floor, and go lift, or your whole foot, I should say, flatten on the floor. And then go bend. Yes, and go lift. Last time here, go bend. Is a lot of work for our right leg. And go lift. All right, from here, again, transfer your weight into your right leg, and then send this left leg back. Low lunge, I barely made it. All right, from here, let's move into the standing split. So just gonna walk and shift and lift. From this place, we have those heel raises. We have 8 heel raises here. So your bottom heel is down, your left leg, you're continuing to send it up. Let's get ready, go. Lift your right heel up and lower down. And go, lift your right heel up. Send your left heel up and lower down. Really send this left heel up, yeah. Lift your right heel up and lower down. And this might be a follow-up to what Emma had asked earlier. Lift your right heel up, but if your hands are not touching the floor, you can also use a prop underneath, right? So that might be your water bottle. 4 more times. And go, lift your right heel up and lower down. Continue to send your left heel up. And go right heel up, so much work. And lower down. 2 more times. Lift your right heel up. Lower down. Last time, lift your right heel up. And lower down. Listen, from here again, you're gonna keep your legs completely straight and step back, probably into a pretty wide pyramid with your straight legs. All right, from this place, start to separate your legs. I'm just gonna square off my hips real quick. You notice how, actually from this vantage point, you can kind of see my hips landed in this open position. It's almost like on the verge of triangle. Really, I need to square up over my right leg, right? So this left hip drops, right hip pulls back. Okay. From here, start to separate your feet. So walk your right foot forward. It is not very graceful. It's okay. And at the same time, send your left leg back. All right. So again, notice my back hip, my left hip wants to open up on me, all right, which is totally natural because it feels much more comfortable that way. But what I need to do instead, though, is just continue to drop my left hip down and forward and lift up tall through my chest. Again, if you're farther up, right now, what I said earlier, if your front leg is straight, which it probably is, your back leg is not, mine is not, I need to lift myself up a little bit more and square off and then maintain, right? It feels like like you just don't want to do that, right? I totally get it, because I don't want to do that right now, but I'm gonna do it. And I totally don't want to. There's so many things like this morning, I tell you, like I was just saying, I biked to Uptown. It's like a pretty big trek for me. I really didn't want to, but I did. And it was, you never regret it again. It's such a funny thing. Again, upright your spine. We'll take 2 breaths here. Keep your back leg just as long and straight as your front leg, and use your Nalgene or use whatever you've got to lift yourself up tall. 2 breaths in through your nose and exhale out. And the idea of keeping your left toes tucked and square and straightened back leg is to really stay disciplined on it too, with your hips square as opposed to open. So it's a lot of work, and of course you feel a whole bunch too. 1 more breath. All right, and then wherever you are, I'm gonna settle my back thigh down to move into this next forward fold, and you might as well. start to walk yourself forward. I find that it's a lot easier, again, for me at least, and probably you too. You can let me know what your experience is like. But for me, it's much easier to find the hinge forward. It's almost like it's, I don't know, more restful in a certain way, because I can still afford, like I can still manage my left hip down. And then I don't have to, I guess, work so much in my spine, and I don't have to rely so much on the flexibility of my hip flexor to stay upright as well. So maybe it's all those things, but you tell me what your experience is of this. And I personally like to keep my back toes tucked because it's just a really nice reminder. If I let it go, it's fine, but sometimes it's easy to shift like so. Right, and if you look at my hip, it's not like so big of a deal. It doesn't look like anything has changed, but I know with my tucked toes that this is definitely a square position. So think of like spreading your hip flexor, your left hip flexor all over the floor. Open up through your chest, your belly over your thigh. Good, one more breath here. Inhale, lengthen. See if you can flex your right foot even farther back toward your face. Really feel something in your right hamstring and fold. Good, and then we'll just hang out a little bit longer. If you wanted to play around with anything else, if you want to use those Nalgene's, just like we did on that first side. We spent just a little bit more time there as we were playing around with using props to lift ourselves up. Totally do that. We'll just stay for one more breath. Square, square, square. All right, and let's gently undo. So shift your hips, your body weight over to your right-hand side. Ooh. And release. My right hamstring's like, no. Okay, so we just did our right hamstring. Bend your left leg. So your left leg is on the floor. And then I wanna make sure this looks a little bit like you can see me better. So your right foot over your left knee. Right butt cheek needs to go down to the floor. Right kneecap, make sure it faces up toward the ceiling. And then bring your right hand close to the base of your spine, right? So not out here, which feels more comfortable, like you're leaning back. You wanna bring your right hand pretty close to the base, so this is used to support you lift. Lift your left arm up, inhale, lengthen. And then take your left armpit outside of your left right thigh. Lift your chest up nice and tall. See if your right butt cheek has lifted up, drop it, and then twist a little bit deeper. So nice little stretch for our right glute as well. One more, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twist a little bit deeper. All right, from this place, gently untwist. We still have our left leg on the floor there. Bend up your right leg and then interlace your fingers around your right foot. All right, so notice just as I go for my foot, my spine is kind of rounded, but I need to go from that rounded position into a lifted position. Flex your foot back toward your face, your toes back toward your face. I'm gonna let go of my right hand real quick. So sometimes it looks like your foot is flexed. This doesn't look pointed, so the opposite of pointed is flexed, but I can do more, right? I can do so much more if I actually flex and intentionally flex. So I want you to intentionally flex. Sometimes I see my foot and I'm like, oh, that's totally not flexed. It's just not pointed. Drop your shoulders, lift your chest. Flex your foot. Your toes are deliberately coming down toward the skin of your shin. And then any amount you're straightening out, drop your shoulders, lift your chest, and repeat those couple of moves, right? Shoulders down, chest up, squeeze your blades, extend out through your right heel. Notice this feels to me, when I'm not thinking about it, straight, but I know it's not, right? Because once I actually straighten, it's so much different, right? Stronger, longer, all those wonderful things. So if and only if your leg is straight, then you start to bend your arms, elbows in. For me, I really do feel like even straightening out my leg here is a bit tough. So I'm gonna work from here and just a little bit bend my arms. All right, let's swap out the arms then. Your left hand to the front and the outside of your right foot. All right, once you get a good grab, lift up nice and tall. You can totally bring your right hand to the floor if you prefer to do that. Just check that your right leg does not veer out toward your left leg lane, and then reach your right arm out, twist. Good, inhale, Lift your chest up nice and tall. Exhale, go twist. Go twist. Go twist. Good. And then gently untwist. From here, we'll let this one go. And then once your right leg is on the floor again, if you can manage without using your hands, just to hinge forward and get yourself up off of the floor, that would be amazing. If that doesn't work, it's totally no big deal. Just get yourself up. And then we'll find ourselves, you're on your right toes, just bring your left toes in. So we're back into that little short squat position that we were in before. Okay. So just did right, moving back to left. Transfer your body weight into your right leg. And your knees are kind of downward sloping, right? Just to encourage your straight spine, not hinging forward. All right, transfer your weight into your right leg. I'm doing this on an angle, so you can see. Gently send your left leg forward, and then it can be on the floor, right? Your left heel on the floor, and that's just perfect. Lift up nice and tall. Okay. From this place, your heels on the floor, maybe really set the intention. See if you can lean back, pick your left heel off of the floor. Good, and slip it back in. Return. Very good. Transfer your weight into your left leg and your knees are slightly downward sloping. And then gently send your right leg forward. Again, your right heel can totally hang out on the floor. And the idea as we do this, especially if this becomes easier and easier for you, is to make that transition fairly seamless. So whether it's not you're losing a big a bam when you lower your right heel, or if it's just kind of gently extending your right leg, whatever those small adjustments you can make, totally do them. And then transfer your body weight back a little bit, lift your right heel up off of the floor, slip it back in. Good. So each time you're trying to make it slightly quieter so it looks more and more effortless, right? So you're taking more effort to make it look effortless. I love that about just any physical movement. When I see people grunting, it's usually guys grunting a lot. There's a way to kind of rein it in a little bit and just work a tad bit harder to control it and to be calm on the outside, even when on the inside you're like, oh my gosh, this is super hard, right? So shift your body weight into your right leg again, send your left leg out, and then maybe you send your left leg off of the floor, right? And then gently slip it back in, nice and easy, right? As if you've done nothing at all, right? No effort. Transfer your body weight to your left leg. Send your right leg forward, nice and easy. And then gently slip it back in. Ooh, good. Lower your hands down to the floor. Send your hips up high toward the ceiling. And then give your legs, again, that gentle right, left bend, right, left bend. All right, from here, keep your right hand down. Let's twist to our left hand side. So deep bend in your right leg. Reach your left arm all the way up high. Twist. One more breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Good. Change. Left hand down. I like a generous bend in between. And then straighten out through your right arm. Maybe lengthen out through your right leg. Stick your tail out. One more breath in, lengthen. And go twist a little bit deeper. And then bring your hand back down to the floor. Good. From this place, we'll again take a deep bend all the way down until you're about hips in line with knees. And then straighten out your legs, straighten. Send your hips up high toward the ceiling. Body weight in your toes. And then bend your legs, body weight back into heels. Sit your hips down. Yes, and then go straighten, lengthen. Open up through your chest. Twice more. Go bend. Open your chest. And straighten your legs, hips up. And bend, go bend. Open your chest. And push your hips up. Hold. Good, stay down here. Take your hands, circle them back behind, interlace your fingers. Open your chest, lengthen, fold. Then stay here for another 2 breaths. Open your chest. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper, body weight into your toes. One more in time. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Straighten out your legs, maybe just a little bit more. Release your arms, and then sit yourself all the way down to the floor. All right, once you're down there, extend both legs in front of you. Take your hands back behind, lift your chest up, hinge. Find your long spine, flex your feet. It's a little bit harder to tell right now whether your legs are actually super strongly engaged or they're like kind of relaxed like mine are. I'm very guilty of this. So feel it, see it, keep your feet flexed. A good tell is that when you flex your feet, there's just a tiny bit of air underneath your heels. And for me, it's very, very difficult to keep my heels up there. So sometimes I just like to grab onto my feet and lift them up to keep them there. And you can decide if that works for you. All right, from this place, gently hinge, use your strong arms to pull. I do actually like this because even as I'm pulling and really finding my hamstring stretch, I can lift my heels up with the help of my arms, right? So it's not just my legs. But you can see actually, because I'm wearing shorts today, the engagement, that's my legs working right now versus my legs being passive, right? And it is kind of a big difference, right? When you're fully engaged, your quads are strong, tight, working versus not, right? So you can really feel the difference, especially, or not especially, but even when you're doing sort of active like I am right now versus passive and just me lifting up my heels, right? So this is passive, but if I get active again, you can see the muscle actually working. Yes, let me see, hold right there. Yeah, that's awesome, Gwen. Exactly. So it's just a baby amount, right? A very small, Gwen just mentioned like, she never realized like heels popping up off the floor when you're actually flexing your feet. It's such a small space. It's a sliver of space that is so easy to just ignore, right? But when you're actually engaged, it takes way more work. So that's why we don't really like to do it all the time. But that's awesome, Gwen. And you're so precise. So I bet you're going to do it all the time now. It is very difficult for me to tell myself, be disciplined enough to do it all the time. But I definitely need to do it for sure. So that's a good reminder too. So use your arms, and even as you're using your arms, see if you can keep your quads engaged. And I will tell you in the beginning, and especially, I'm not even necessarily like knowing about this just now, but like I don't do it often enough that I bet my quads also are gonna feel so much more tired and sore just from the actual engagement and actual work. So that's good for us. So pull, lengthen out through your spine, lengthen out through the backs of your legs, and we'll hang out for 2 more breaths. Open your chest. Tighten up your quads, lengthen out through your hams and pull. But the beautiful thing also, one more time, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, pull. The beautiful thing about this is that once your hamstrings are a little bit more open, you can come up and just shake it loose. Find yourself in a comfortable seat. When your hamstrings are a little bit more open, the thing is that when you do your hamstring stretch, that forward fold, it'll be much more than just like a hamstring stretch. You'll feel it in your low back. And to me, like we're doing so much sitting, we're doing so much staying in place. I know like things are a little bit better. They feel a lot better than like 2 months ago, but we still are spending a lot of time in the confines of our homes, and we're still sitting down a lot, all those things. So if we can find a way to stretch out and lengthen out through our low back, I think that's such a valuable stretch to find for ourselves, whether it's standing and folding over versus sitting and folding over. Finding that length in our spine is just so nice. So speaking of which, once you find yourself in your seated place, let's take an inhale, arms up, and let's just fold from here. So you can crawl yourself here or fold here in this fashion. And this is not hamstring related. This is straight up like hips. But this is another way, just in case, like in the forward fold, both standing and seated, you don't feel the stretch in your spine. This is a different way and potentially more accessible way to find your low back stretch, right? And really, there's not a ton of work that you need to do here. It's really allowing your butt to sink back and extend your arms forward. And for me personally, I like to do a little bit of just this rock, right, left, and that feels super nice on my spine. And let your head be fairly heavy, your neck neutral, so you don't need to really hold up your head any longer. Maybe your forehead can rest on the floor. And let's gently come up and we'll switch out our legs real quick. So this is not much change, just a little bit, especially if one side hip feels a little bit more accessible than the other. This just gives your body an opportunity to even things out a little bit. So again, you're either arms up and folding or crawling and folding. And you can decide, right? Especially we're coming toward the end right now, you can decide whether you want it to be fairly passive and just kind of hanging out wherever your body falls, or I kind of like just using my palms and pushing myself back so my hips feel like they have some assistance in sinking down. And this slightly more active approach feels nice to me, at least for today, for this moment right now. You can also do the right to the left here. And I don't even change the position of my hands. I literally just let my upper body swing right to left. And I can feel kind of a little bit of stretching under my blades when I do that as well. So you can kind of play around with it and see what works better for you. And let's gently walk ourselves back up. Good, uncross your legs and let's just find a mild V. Inhale, arms up, final, and hinge. Find the length in your spine, you see this, and then hinge forward as best you can with your arms fully extended. See how far you can go. And even here, Gwen, see if you might be able to pop your heels just a little bit up off of the floor wherever you are. And sometimes for me, once I've reached my place, like wherever my maximum is, I almost like kind of do like a walk back of my hips to get the flesh out. And then I can pop my heels just a little bit. Again, it's a lot more work when you actually get your heels up off the floor, when you actually engage your quads. So I've got to be the first to admit that I don't always do it. Shame on me, but it's true. So I'm just letting you know. Extend, especially sometimes like we've done already so much work in our legs. It feels like so much extra work to engage quads, but it's definitely, Gwen, good reminder to work. And gently come all the way back up. And let's release out our arms. Inhale, arms go all the way up high toward the ceiling. Let's do one cactus backward bend. Lift your chest up just because I love it and it feels good. And inhale, arms go all the way up. And push out right, left, go all the way down. Nice job. Again, today we did a little bit more splitsy types of things. It's always really nice, I think. We do so much work, like strength stuff and all that stuff during the week. It's kind of nice to take advantage of all of that strength that we do and lengthen things out, right? And so thanks for playing along. It was yoga-ish, but definitely not completely faithful to yoga the entire way through, but hope you had fun with it. And we'll see what we do tomorrow. If there's anything else that you'd like to see, definitely let me know. Oh, good, Molly. Yeah, the lower back stretch I think is so helpful these days too. Like anytime, like even back in in real life, like 3-4 months ago, low back stretches were nice, but even more so now we're spending so much time, hunched over in this small confined spaces. So I'm glad we were all able to work this together. You did awesome. Thanks for playing along even in this heat. And I will see you again tomorrow. Shoulders, Emma. Yes. I like that. We are totally doing that tomorrow. Done. Love it. You are so good about recs. We'll do that tomorrow then. Shoulders, it is. Shoulders, maybe some backward bending type of stuff. That sounds really good to me. Okay. You've helped me not have to think of something on my own, so that's perfect. Okay, have a wonderful rest of your evening, guys. And today we used, potentially like a Nalgene. Maybe tomorrow also have that Nalgene available just in case, right? I'm not saying 100% we'll use it, but just in case, have a Nalgene or something like this, 12 inches, 18 inches, just to prop yourself up off of the floor just in case we need it. Okay, have a wonderful night, my beautiful friends, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.